Apa Indonesia, Namaste John Zachary. So before I start this video, I have to give you my usual disclaimer. All the views and opinions expressed in this video are my own personal views and in no way reflect the opinions of PinterPolitik.com. That out of the way, why the James Bond beginning? Well, it's all about the subject of this video, Klaus Schwab, leader of the World Economic Forum. And many people think that Klaus looks like Blofeld, the supervillain from the James Bond movies. There he is. Doesn't he look similar? But to my mind, actually, Klaus Schwab looks more like a British bulldog. Here's a British bulldog, and here's Klaus Schwab again. Can you see the similarities? Yes, they look very similar, but there is a difference. A British bulldog is cute, it's cuddly, and you want to pat it on the head. Klaus Schwab is nasty, he's ugly, and you want to kick him in the head. So supervillain Klaus wants to control all of our lives, and he's got together with his great buddies, all the billionaires in Davos every January to discuss how you and I are going to live our life. Isn't that nice of them? Isn't that wonderful? Thanks so much. They're going to decide the agendas for all the countries. These unelected individuals are going to influence our elected officials to do what they want. Isn't that nice? Why are they going to do it? Because they've got so much money.
Other people's money.
And why have they got so much money? Because we keep on giving it to them. We keep on using their crappy, useless services. Yes, and I know there's going to be smart asses out there saying, you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook. Actually, never been on Facebook in my life, so you're wrong on that one. But yes, we do use Instagram, we do use YouTube, because these are the platforms to engage with people and we want to get our message out. But trust me, if I could find another platform to get a message out to people, I would use it, and I use it as quickly as possible. And if we are successful, PinterPolitik will have their own service and produce their own content without the need for these people. And that's the ideal. And I suggest to all people, and I encourage them to move away from the giant mega banks, from the giant big tech, because these people are getting too powerful. It shows in the fact that a lunatic like Klaus Schwab, who's one of their leading lights and obviously the chairman and founder of the World Economic Forum, has decided how we're going to live our lives. In his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, and the greatest bestseller, COVID-19, The Great Reset, he discusses how our lives are going to descend into an utter nightmare. Yes, an utter nightmare. You're going to be controlled from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed.
Try to take over the world.
You're going to be bleeping and beeping everywhere you go, because you're going to have health passports, and you're going to have proof of having a vaccine, proof of having negative tests, and everywhere you go, you're going to be monitored. And if you listen to these lunatics,
I think of new tools that we acquired, but over which we, the human race, had the advantage, which we controlled. And that is not necessarily the case in the digital age. You may keep your secrets from your friends, from your parents, your children, your doctor, even your personal trainer. But it takes real effort to conceal your thoughts from Google. And if that is true today, in future, there may be nowhere to hide. Including
Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of the UK, you can have nanochips in you as well. Isn't that lovely? And so you won't have any freedom or anywhere you can hide from them. You'll be visible at all times on the great digital platforms. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that the world you want? No peace, your every movement controlled and monitored, CCTV everywhere, the Internet of Things. Isn't it a utopian ideal? What else have they got in store for us? Oh yes, plant-based proteins. You're going to eat plant-based proteins. So whether you want to be a vegan or not, you're going to end up one. Or you're going to end up eating worms. Because they don't like the idea of cows and cattle, because they produce carbon. So, you know, the carbon footprint, so cows have got to go, so forget your burgers. And of course, you're not allowed to fly because, again, it's carbon and you're saving the earth because the earth is being destroyed by you and me, not them. Bill Gates can fly to the UK and meet with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, that idiot yet again, and they can decide what the health policies of the UK are going to be. Democracy at work. And what's this got to do with the lunatic Klaus Schwab? He's at the back of all of it. He's one of the key players. He's one of the greatest advocates of the Great Reset. Here he is talking about it now.
What kind of world do we want to build? What do we know? What did we learn? I think the world which we want to create with the Great Reset has to be much more resilient.
To build a really better world sometimes means having to tear the old one down.
Marvellous, isn't it, what he's saying? We have a great opportunity to take the blip, blip, blip. Shut up. We don't want your Great Reset. We don't want your control. We don't want your lunacy. We don't want chips in our brains and beeping everywhere we go because of some virus that you say is going to kill everyone but kills virtually nobody. Sorry, we don't want it.
Excellent.
We don't want your controls. People like to live freely. Most people are decent people, God-fearing people that want to enjoy their lives and go about their daily business and take care of their families. But these criminals, these lunatics, have decided that you are the blight on the earth. You are the pestilence. You are the too many. Not them. Oh no, they're exempt from all these things. They can do exactly what they want. But you, wear your mask. Governor Newsom in California, one of the worst criminals in all this escapade, who's put very stringent lockdowns on the poor Californians, caught in a three-star Michelin restaurant with about 15 people having dinner with no masks. Against his own regulations. What a shocker. His rules don't apply to him. Another crony of Klaus Schwab. Why is Klaus Schwab, the supervillain, so important to all this? Because it's in Davos where they all meet. In the World Economic Forum, where they all get together and they talk and they say, whoa, what's we going to do with all these plebs? How are we going to do it? I tell you what, let's make them wear masks all day. And they do it because we told them there's some virus going to get them. Or let's tell them they've got to stay at home. That will be a good one. Yeah, tell them to stay at home all day. Yeah, you can't go to work, you're non-essential. Stay at home and wear your mask. Guess what? And then they all meet and they go, guess what? They did it. Hey, what else can we do? Let's tell them to hop on one leg. I bet they do it. Let's tell them that every Thursday you've got to wear pink pajamas. I bet they do it. Because they think you and me are that stupid. They have utterly no respect for us. Klaus Schwab, in his books, lays out a future for us which is truly a nightmare. Cities that are completely connected and everything, including the fridge, talks to the toaster, talks to you, talks to the chip in your brain, even where he envisages a time where they can read your thoughts from the chip in your brain. Wouldn't that be nice? You can't even have privacy in your own brain, according to these people. You can't even have your own thoughts. Nothing you have can be private. You must be laid bare to these people. That's the Great Reset. Build back better. No, building back nothing better. It's putting you in a cage. It's putting me in a cage. It's taking away your freedoms under the guise of a virus. They've said it already. They want you to be under their control.
Try to take over the world.
And if you can't see that that's your agenda in front of you, Look what happens when Biden, if he's actually elected as president, if he gets away with the fraud, see what happens then. The masks come on right across America. And then mandatory vaccines. Because Klaus Schwab and his cronies in the World Economic Forum think that we are surplus to their needs. They think humanity is a pestilence. They believe in a technocracy. They believe in the merging of humans and machines in a transhumanist world. They believe that we are surplus to requirements and they can get machines to do virtually everything that human beings do. And so what for having us pollute the world? And these people are so arrogant, they put the message out everywhere. It's in media a lot, how you are a non-essential. They even use the word for people, you're non-essential worker. Well, I think they're the non-essential ones. I think what humanity needs to do is turn away from the big tech, turn away from the global corporations and support local business, support local leaders and take back their freedoms and take back their rights and not just acquiesce to ridiculous rules and regulations that super villain Klaus Schwab and his friends want to inflict upon us. We need to stand up and say, no, we don't want any of this. We don't want your vision of the world. We don't agree with you. We believe in personal freedoms. We believe in personal rights. We believe that a person has rights over their own body. And this is the message that I want to give to you all. Please read and check about the Great Reset, Mr. Klaus Schwab and his friends that will be meeting in January 2021 in Davos again to decide your future. They're very excited. They think they've got us now. So they're going to come up with even more ridiculous edicts. Their vision of the future is you don't own anything. You are poor and you get a universal wage. It's not the future that I want. It's not a future of equal outcomes. It's a future of an outcome where the few own even more than they have already, which means they own everything. This is a very important time for humanity. They need to turn away from these evil people, the influence that they have in the mainstream media, which is totally and utterly corrupt. And people just need to start looking and researching for themselves what's really going on. There's a little bell going in your head that says to yourself, well, this isn't quite right. This doesn't really make sense. But you're not listening to it. You're listening to the rubbish on the TV. Turn the TV off, listen to that bell in your head. I'll be doing more videos on the Great Reset. Unfortunately, I have to use these platforms until we can find alternatives. So please follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. I look forward to seeing you again in Asia. Take care.